Hello, I'm Francis Collins, the Director of the National Institutes of Health, and welcome to all of you to the annual Career Symposium. I want to give a special welcome to biomedical trainees from across the country who are joining us this year. And what a year it has been so far. Normally, this event focuses on many exciting career options that are available to trainees, and we'll get to those soon enough because there are plenty of them. But first, I just want to say a few words to all of you about your careers at this exceptional moment caused by the coronavirus pandemic that has consumed the efforts of many of us trying to use the best possible tools of science to approach this, but also has been very disruptive to many of you who are in the middle of exciting training opportunities. Our efforts to slow down COVID-19 have been working. The way in which we have asked people to stay at home and to practice physical distancing and hand washing and wearing masks, clearly, as I watch those curves day after day, seem to be providing benefits in flattening the curve and reducing the number of people with serious illness and the number of deaths. But it is still a pretty serious and tragic circumstance for far too many. Of course, though, another consequence of the way in which we've been practicing those public health measures has been that many of you who are in the middle of projects have not been able to continue, at least not in the way you thought you would. People have been creative about that. Many of you now being required to work at home have figured out this is a great time to dig more deeply into the literature, do some serious thinking about future projects, write a paper or two that maybe had been a little bit slow in coming together because other things were always getting in the way of it. Or do some data analysis, which many people can do from their own home computers. My own research lab certainly trying to do what we can in that space. And the people who are primarily computational are managing to keep going. It is certainly true the people who were primarily working at the bench are having a hard time because there are no benches at home, at least not this kind. So it has been a tough time. We gather by Zoom and we talk to each other and we do journal clubs and try to make sure we're keeping all of the juices flowing about science. But no question about it, this is not what anybody would have chosen as a way to continue your own training. And we at NIH are totally sympathetic about that. We've got your back. We want to be sure that even though this may be disruptive for your training, that we support you throughout all of that. Everybody wants to be as flexible as possible about deadlines. So please don't think that your situation is not being noticed. It absolutely is. And throughout the course of this Career Symposium, people will probably be making mention of this. But I guess what I want to say is, while not being productive as usual must be bothering you, it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you are being safe. You're far more important than your project. Your future is still bright. There are many ways you can continue to learn and grow during this time. And there are many people who care about you personally and professionally. So NIH wants to be here for you. We want to support you. We believe in you. We know that the future is a little affected by this, but you'll look back on this in 10 or 20 years, or maybe more than that, and you'll talk about what you did during the great pandemic of 2020. And your grandchildren will listen with great interest to find out what it was like during that time and what was it that you had to do to try to cope with that circumstance? And I think you'll have some interesting stories to tell, but you'll talk about how you survived, you got through it, you learned from it. It was a time where science came to the rescue of what was otherwise a terrible global crisis. And it is not the way that I would have wanted science to get the recognition that it now does, but it certainly is true that the world now is counting on us as scientists to come up with answers to coronavirus and to get us through this. So I mostly just wanted to say welcome to the symposium and that NIH cares about you. We are the National Institutes of Health, but we often also think of ourselves as the National Institutes of Hope. And hope is something which is contagious, maybe even more contagious than a virus. So I hope you have some of it and I hope you spread it around because we are going to get through this. Have a wonderful symposium.